Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in here today, taking a look at three very low cap meme coins. I just like finding random coins, and then that's just kind of fun to do. So when I look at these coins, I do have to say the chances I invest into these is very low. But when you find lower cap coins, it can be fun to kind of look through them and see what they actually are. So this coin, this is called basecoin, the layer 2 to Ethereum. You know that. You know they don't have an actual governance token. It's an interesting story, and I've done some research on it, the whole base narrative. Base is just a branch off of Ethereum in a way to make the fees cheaper. And by the way, the layer 1 Ethereum, they have improved the fee situation when it comes to the gas, and people should notice that even when the network is congested, the fees on the layer 1 are lower. But Base is created off of Coinbase as a way to interact and really go hand in hand with Ethereum. See, with most layer 2s, they're going to develop their own coin. And that's what Basecoin would be. Basecoin does not exist. If you want to trade on Base, you use the Ethereum or the base version of Ethereum, which is just Ethereum bridged. So it's interesting. So this is a meme coin. By the way, I hate when they do the animation. Why do we need to see it spinning on deck screen? I don't like that. I mean, you can say, well, it's unique, but you take a look at this coin's history. I guess go by day. When was this? When did this coin come out? Almost a year ago. This is a nice chart. That's a nice chart. I mean, it's been going up really for the past half year, and now it's sitting at 105K down. Everything is down today. The market is moving in a really peculiar way. You can sense a huge move is coming in the market with this type of activity. I mean, we saw, remember somebody sold out of Bitcoin. They sold 2.7 billion in one trade, and now Bitcoin is down at 110K. With the way the swings in the market, to me signal we're due for a massive move. I mean, there's been some really negative days recently. There's been some positive days, but we'll have to see. I think this Trump coin launching, I'm a little bit concerned about it, honestly. But let's take a look at what this project is. You can see that, I mean, it does look like this has got to be like you got to put some type of parody account on this, because people are going to think this is the actual base coin, because base coin does not exist, an actual utility coin, a governance token of Base, but it's a meme. But see, like, look at this. It looks like it's got utility. This is a nice header. Fan account solely for the purpose of the cryptocurrency Basecoin BSC on Base. And you can see, but this is not, there is no, they're trying to add utility to it. Base Chain's newest AI agent hosting meme competitions and community-driven features. Head over to our website, basecoin.me. It's just, yeah, that's a real professional website. To interact with our AI agent. What are the tokenomics? The tokenomics for Basecoin, well, this is their AI agent. 1 billion tokens, marketing wallet used for listing, bots, volumes, ads, and trending, competition wallet used for meme competitions, smart contract ownership renounced, zero tax. Yeah, they're trying to add like utility to it. This is nice. This looks professional. No, it's like because there's not an actual base coin. Like, you would think there would be a base coin, honestly, you would. But I understand, because it's so intertwined with Ethereum, it's just the way in which you bridge it to Base is through the Ethereum version of Base. It's just a bridged Ethereum onto the layer 2. There's no actual base coin. Because if there was, think about it. If it was like more separate and they didn't work directly in tandem, you would bridge Ethereum, like Ethereum on the layer 1 Ethereum network, to Basecoin, the layer 2. But instead, it's just Ethereum is bridged to the Ethereum on the layer 1 Ethereum network is bridged to the Ethereum version of Base on the layer 2. There's no actual base coin. I don't know if they could even put this on CoinGecko, because people would think that this is like the actual governance coin. But I thought it was kind of an interesting idea, but you could run into some problems. It's an interesting idea. I don't know. But there is that one. And then we've also got this other one I've been taking out. It's another Matt Fury coin. This is called Cortex Vortex. Can you believe it? And then the name of the coin is Matt Fury's new book. But everybody talks about Cortex Vortex, Cortex Vortex, Cortex Vortex, character, full page, artwork. But what about the actual book itself? So this is the book. This is all of the characters combined. It's kind of like 4chan. You guys, I love 4chan, that coin. But it's all the encompassing characters combined. And so it's the actual Cortex Vortex. Very typical. Well, actually, kind of a weird, peculiar. I mean, this coin was able to maintain a decent market cap. Normally, what happens with the Fury coins, they run up to 1 or 2 million or 4 or 5 million or whatever the marketing wallet says they're going to run to. And then they tank. And then they stay dormant for a while. And then what happened recently, and you almost have to wonder with the Matt Fury stuff, is the hype over at this point? I don't know. It's tough to say. I mean, Matt Fury is tied to Pepe, so you'd think a lot of the characters would still do well. And I know there's a lot of influencers heavily invested, not into this coin. This coin's at 89,000. But heavily invested into a lot of those characters that are part of the Cortex Vortex book. So this coin lay dormant. It was around 30K. It got CTO'd. Like, I want to see if this is on here. Community takeover. May 13th was the last time this was updated. Really? Huh. Wow. I would have figured it would have been CTO'd and they would have updated it again. Because, evidently the coin came alive kind of when all the other Furies were coming alive. But this is like a different angle. It's not a character. It's just the book in general. Some people may not like it. Some people may like it. But the idea is you can use all the characters, and it's basically all the characters combined. I actually like this. Is nice. Okay, I don't like this. I don't like all of this. Now it's too much. Now it's a bit too much. Let's take a look at this. They at least got a check mark. See the thing? Yeah, I guess they kind of have to put the Ethereum thing. OG, what does that mean? Is there another Cortex Vortex? Last tweet was 10 days ago. Yeah, I don't know about that one. But it's you can understand the idea behind it. And then this final one, I've done a video on this coin. It's unfortunate what happened to it. This is called the original Pepe now. This coin you can't find right now on Dex Screener because there's been no activity. At a certain point when there's no activity for like 24 hours, the coin is deemed null from being on Dex Screener. So the claim to fame with this coin is the fact that it is the first ever Pepe on Ethereum. Yes, Pepe coin was released in 2016, but it was not moved over to Ethereum until 2023 when the big version of Pepe, the $5 billion market cap one, came out. This one was launched. I mean, I'd have to go to the actual code of this to find it, I believe. I'd have to go to Etherscan because it's not on Dex Screener because there haven't been. I mean, look at the last trade was 2 days ago. Yeah, I was talking to one of the guys and they're just not. They said they want to start. There's going to be more activity for this coin, but also it's very strange. The supply. I think they burned 9,000, so the total supply is like 37K, but it's got a very small supply. That's why the price was like $5 when you look at it. I mean, look at it. At $5.08, there's been no trades within the past few days, and their Telegram is completely dead. But if you go to the contract codes, this is where you can see it. Submitted for verification, Etherscan. This would have been October 10th. This would have been September 28th of 2020. And it does show up on Dex Screener, the entire history of it. It's not like one of those things to where it gets transferred and it only has a certain amount of time. So it's an interesting coin because, yes, this was the first coin on Ethereum. The first Pepe, I should say. The first Pepe on Ethereum. Does that really matter? Honestly, I mean, probably not. The problem is if the coin is not going to be pushed, it's just not going to do anything. I've seen a lot of really good narratives die because the coins just don't get pushed. So the story of this coin is interesting. And you can take a look. We can go to their Twitter. The first Pepe on Ethereum. And then they have like 5 different logos. I think that's another big problem with this coin. So they tweeted 9 hours ago. Man. 28 views. They're trying to tweet again, But it's yeah, it looks like they went between a month with no tweets. So it's one of those coins to where it's just interesting lore to see it. You see, they say you only need 10 pepe because the supply is so low. I don't know. It is a good narrative, but it's one of those to where, like, what did this coin hit? I feel like it. No, I think it. They said it hit $400 back in 2023. They were saying, yeah, someone was telling me this coin hit $400 in May of 2023, which is when the original Pepe, well, not the original, you guys know, the $5 billion one took off. So it's interesting to see coins like this. I don't know. Maybe someone will pick it up. I mean, to me, there is a narrative there. You do have the Pepe coin, the one from 2016, which kind of captured the whole narrative of it being the first, because it was the first. It was the first. 2016 is before 2020. However, it was not on Ethereum until 2023, because that was when the $5 billion Pepe was popping off and going to hundreds of millions, and then they moved the Pepe coin from 2016 over to Ethereum. But this one was always on Ethereum from 2020. At least that's what Etherscan. Yeah, I've seen this coin on DexScreener before, and it does have a chart that goes back to 2020. But there's just nobody to run the project. So it's one of those things to where I think it does have a good narrative. Could it go to, I mean, I don't even know what you'd want. You need it to go to like 50 or 60 million. I don't, because I think about the OG 2016 one. The OG 2016 one, I think, will go to at least 500 million. So then what would that mean for this one? I don't know if people are going to find this one. That's the problem. I don't ever think people know about that this coin exists. So, and I would say right now, this is wrong, I believe. Oh, no, this is right. 37K. Because what do they have for the, yeah, no, it is 37. They burned, the max total supply was 46. Or I guess they have it as, you know what, this is because this is an old contract. That's why it's infinity. It's an old contract. That's why there's these warnings as well. Well, not 100% of the liquidity is locked, but this is an old contract. That's mainly why. The way they did contracts in 2020, there's going to be, in modern sense, there's going to be problems with older contracts, but you're not going to make a new contract and transfer it because you're going to lose the entire price history of this coin, because its claim is that, well, it was the first Pepe on Ethereum. So it's an interesting one, but yeah, those are some coins. I mean, I like finding different ones. And so either way, guys, make sure you like the video down below. That's going to do it for this one.